Shepard wins the battle and the war at Brewerton. The Iceman takes control at Fulton. Fast Eddie goes in the pits with a rising modified star. The regular season in racing may be coming to an end, but Race Pro Weekly is just getting started. Hello and welcome to another edition of Race Pro Weekly. I'm your host, Mike Warren. It was championship weekend all around the modified scene in the Northeast, and let's get it started with the D-shaped Dirt Demon. Modified feature at the Brewerton Speedway gets started is up into turn number 1 and 2. Big wreck as a lot of contact is made. Larry White, Jimmy Phelps, Roy Bresnahan, Dale Plank also involved on this early lap incident. On the restart here, you see Ryan Bartlett fighting along with Chuck Bauer and Matt Shepard going 3 wide for the 8th position. Bartlett going to make contact with Bauer, narrowly missing the 9S and the 91 machine of Billy Decker as they came across. Shepard would make his way up. He'd go to the inside of the 1X for Willie Decker for the race lead, and he would take the advantage as he would be your new race leader at about the halfway point of this feature event. On the next ensuing restart, he'd take the outside lane and power to the outside as the X of Chad Phelps and the 91 of Billy Decker would be in tow. In this feature event, they would continue to pressure the Extreme Lubricants car number 9S as Shepard as they come off the corner here, but Shepard starts to pull away by just a few more car lengths, and hey, Jimmy Phelps up into the top 5 as well. There was no catching Matt Shepard in this one as he would take the win and the track championship at Brewerton.
You know, to win the championship's a big deal, but to do it in style and finally get that second win of the year, you know, we showed tonight, why we had a championship team.
Matt Shepard would take home the victory. Billy Decker would finish in second. Jimmy Phelps coming back all the way to finish third. Chad Phelps would finish in fourth, and Dan Vowder would round out the top 5. Caitlin Kane would lead the field to the green at the Fulton Speedway as they got started with their final feature event of the season. The Iceman Dan Vowder would make his way to the outside to try to run down Kane in the early portion of the event as cars were on the move behind him, including the 24 of Whitco. Vowder would then make a move to the inside for the race lead on the 2 of Kane as they came to the start-finish line. Kane would still have the spot, but Vowder continued to push underneath. The 85 machine would make his way to the front of the field, and he would be your new race leader as a bunch of cars were in tow, including the 02 of Bresnahan, the X of Chad Phelps, and the 99 of the Rocket Ryan Phelps as they made their way through. Other cars on the move, however, were trying to catch the 85 machine of Dan Vowder as this race continued to go as Ryan Phelps would win it. But no one was touching Dan Vowder as the Iceman freezes the field at Fulton.
Yeah, we threw everything we possibly could think of at it all week long at the shop, and had a decent run last night, and it paid off tonight.
Dan Vowder would pick up the victory. Dale Plank would finish in second. Ryan Phelps third. Chad Phelps fourth. And Lightning Larry White would round out your top 5. Pat Ward would pick up the championship. This week's Facebook poll: with Super Dirt Week just around the corner, what is your favorite paint scheme? Log on to our Facebook page to cast your answer at www.facebook.com/RaceProWeekly. Last week is what is your home track and what makes it so special, and here are some of the answers. James Osterhout says Fonda because it is, was, and always will be the greatest racetrack on the planet. Dennis Takax said Mahoning Speedway. It reopened in 1970 as an asphalt track. I was 10 at the time. Now I'm 53. It's only 3 miles from my house. And Danny Simon says Grandview Speedway because of Dwayne Howard.
Sayers Auto Wrecking Incorporated is a towing service and an auto salvage yard. We offer 24-hour roadside assistance and damage-free towing. Our wreckers are radio dispatched for your convenience, and we're AAA approved for your peace of mind. On the auto salvage side, we pay top dollar for junk vehicles and sell a wide variety of used auto parts. We also buy scrap metals, including aluminum, copper, steel, and brass. You can learn more about all we do by calling Sayers Auto Wrecking today at 413-358-4374.
Racing's biggest party is coming. Not just Dirt Week, the Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week, October 9th through the 13th at New York State Fairgrounds. Be there as the Triple 20s light up the fairgrounds Friday night. Sunday's 200-lap Super Dirt Car big blocks on the Movie Mile. Modified sprint cars and late models, all part of the 5 Super Days of Dirt Track Racing. 5 days, thousands of laps. Get your tickets and event info now at SuperDirtWeekOnline.com. It's one party you won't want to miss. Napa Auto Parts Super Dirt Week, October 9th through the 13th. There's only one Super Dirt Week.
2013 season at the Lebanon Valley Speedway got started off with 4 straight Brett Hearn victories, which put him into a huge point lead, which he led throughout the season, and it culminated with the championship title on the rainout this past Saturday night. No one was even close to touching him, despite Brett Hearn not picking up a win throughout the rest of the season.
Well, I mean, championships are why we do this. I mean, as a team, that's why we do this, and it means that the team as a whole put a good effort in, a very consistent year. Not that ton of wins that we've had in the past, but still that top 5 week after week after week, being the most consistent team. Great effort by my ownership, Matt's and Overhead Doors, by my teammates and my other sponsors, Steve Huff Motors, 417 Bus Lines, Don Kruger, and all these JMMB, all these people that helped me put the car on the track.
Started off the season on fire, winning multiple feature events, and then kind of hit a cold spell, like you said, consistent. Does that get frustrating?
Well, I think that, just knowing that you're going to the track every weekend, starting 15th over and over and over again, and that ultimately there'll be somebody that's pretty fast that'll be, have had 3 bad weeks and starts 6th or 7th, and having to chase them down, and sometimes getting there, most times getting close, but not close enough. That part gets a little bit frustrating week after week, but because ultimately we do this to win races, but the championships still represent a much bigger thing than just a race here or there.
Sportsman division was also on the card at the Brewerton Speedway as Rocky Warner looked to pick up another victory in the West End towing car number 79 machine. He would be in the number 2 spot early as he looked to take a race lead. Other cars on the move, however. Jordan Bennett right there trying to make his way through, along with Corey Barker and the 11 of Kyle Fink. You see Fink there on the outside lane. Beth Snyder would also look to try to make her presence known as she pull up right on the back bumper of Fink and Barker, running for position as they headed down the back straightaway. Meanwhile, they'll come off the corner. Here comes Snyder to the inside of Fink, looking for the position. She will try to get it, but there was no stopping Rocky Warner as he picked up the win.
Yeah, that's all. I tell you, this is an awesome track. I love racing here. This one goes out to Industrial Tire of Central New York. We didn't have a sticker. We kind of made a little sticker up here. These guys are awesome. I really appreciate them guys putting something on for us. And I tell you, it's just awesome to be here.
Top 5 would be the Flying Squirrel, Rocky Warner picking up the win. Beth Schneider with an impressive second place finish. Jordan Bennett finishing in 3rd, Jim Spano 4th, and Corey Barker rounding out the top 5.
Everybody jump in the car. We won't have to travel far.
To do the go-karts, the bunker boats, the big shot basketball,
And climb the rock wall.
Funplex is our favorite place. Put the groovy smile on your groovy face.
Bring your family and friends. Bring everyone. It's more than just fun. It's Funplex.
Pollinators are out in full force, helping our ecosystem. But in and around your home, they can ruin your summer. Flowers close to your home can attract bees, hornets, and wasps. Your garbage can also attract swarms. Bees and wasps can easily nest in eaves, shutters, and any covered awning. Most likely they'll nest on the side of the house that gets the most sun. So call Cat's Eye, unless you actually like getting stung. For more information or to schedule your free inspection, go to catseyepest.com.
Want the full racing action from Lebanon Valley Speedway? Check out Bob Haynes in the Metro Media video booth at the track, as well as his website, www.metmedvid.com. That's www.metmedvid.com. This past weekend, the series race at the Rolling Wheels Raceway was postponed due to rain and will now be added as an additional race on Tuesday night of Super Dirt Week. Dirt Car caught up with Brett Hearn with more on the rescheduling.
It's going to be tough. Even we've had some discussions this morning, Brian Madsen and myself, about cars and engines and what backup cars for Syracuse and how we're going to move everything around. Our situation is a little tougher because we're coming out of New Jersey, so whatever we have with us when we get to upstate New York, we have with us, and trying to move our equipment up there for a week is, that's a challenge.
The
car that we used last year was a car that we built 2 years ago, and the first year we struggled with it quite a bit. Even last year, we were still, fine-tuning on a lot of things. We finally really nailed it down for the race day, and I was so ecstatic with the way the car worked that we came back from last year and we just put a cover on it. Matter of fact, it just got uncovered today, and we started to make a game plan as to what we want to do to get ready. Whenever you have a car that was as good as it was on race day last year, you got to go into an event like that with a lot of confidence.
Mod Light feature event gets started at the Brewerton Speedway as Lowell Zier would lead him up through turn number 1 and 2 for the first time. Caution flag would come out on the speedway early as Frank Sabaka would get turned around just out of turn number 4, and that would bunch the field back up. On the restart, they would make their way through the corner with some close 4-wide racing as Sterling Miller going to use the inside to his advantage, and he would move a bunch of positions up as they come off the corner with Rick Demo taking the lead from Zier on the restart. Miller would then make his way to the outside of Demo for the number 1 spot, and he would take the race lead, and it looked like there could be nothing that stopped them. However, here comes Alan Fink, the point leader, to the outside as he'd make his way down the back straightaway and take the lead away from Miller. Nothing was stopping Alan Fink in this one as he would pick up another win in the Mod Lights. Fink would pick up the victory, Sterling Miller finishing in second, Sam Usborne third, Nick Graziano fourth, and Rick Demo would round out your top 5. Novice Sportsman feature at the Fulton Speedway getting started with Hillary Ward leading him up into turn number 1 and 2 in the 45 machine. She would lead him back around for the first time as she would complete lap number 1 as your race leader here in this Novice Sportsman feature event. Some close racing between Gary Hopkins Jr., the 12 of James Carlson, and Joey Bonaguro would result in Bonaguro going around and bringing out the caution here in this feature. On the restart, Taylor Lamb would take the lead outright, making the 82L go up into turn number 1 and 2 as the race leader. Hoppins and Carlson would be in tow. Hoppins would then make a great move to the outside lane to try to take the number 2 spot away from Ward, but it would be to no avail as Taylor Lamb would pick up the win in the Novice Sportsman feature event. Lamb would be the victor. James Carlson would finish in second, Gary Hoppins third, Trevor Lindsay fourth, and Amy Holland rounding out the top 5. Other winners on the night would be Jordan Bennett in the Sportsman, Brandon Ford in the late models, and Chuck Bolelchik in the 4-cylinder Super Stocks. It's now time to take a look at our weekend battles. Up in Plattsburgh at Airborne Speedway, Todd Stone picked up the win in the 100-lapper. Jesse Mueller would finish in second, Andy Lindemann third, Chris K.A. fourth, and Andy Haywood would round out the top 5. At the Albany-Saratoga Speedway, Mark Johnson picked up win number 2. Brett Hearn would finish in second and take the championship. Kenny Tremont would finish in third, Jeremy Wilder fourth, and R.J. Ronnie Johnson rounding out the top 5. Just like at the Brewerton Speedway, Matt Shepard would take the win and the championship at Canandaigua. The Hurricane Steve Payne coming in second, Justin Ayers third, Tim Courier fourth, and Machine Gun Billy Dunn rounding out the top 5. At the Ridge, your winner in 2013, champion the 85 of Bobby Varon. Elmo Reckner would finish in second, Craig Hansen third, Jim Becker fourth, and Ray Sitterly would round out the top 5. Down at I-88, it was DRG, Darwin Green picking up the win, Paul Jensen in second, J.R. Hobart third, Brett Tonkin fourth, and Jim Gabriel Jr. rounding out the top 5. Up north at the Mohawk Speedway, Machine Gun Billy Dunn would pick up the win and the championship. Kerry Terrance would finish in second, Matt Billings third, Mary O'Clair fourth, and Zach Albertine fifth. Down on the hard clay at Orange County, Chris Whitehead would pick up the win, Tim Heinley would finish in second, Richie Urich third, Chris Schultz fourth, and Hollywood Craig Mitchell rounding out the top 5. At the action track at the East Utica Rome, Larry White would pick up the win, Pat Ward finishing second, Mike Mahaney third, your 2013 champion Stuart Friesen finishing fourth, and the Tornado Todd Burley fifth. It's time to take a look at this week's Lasting Impressions Driver Spotlight with Dan Wiesner. Rufus Done Right Incorporated. Our name says it all for all your commercial and residential roofing needs. Call 518-382-ROOF. The Choices 301 program takes a multifaceted approach aimed at educating the public about the realities and dangers of what can happen when bad decisions are made inside a motor vehicle. Don't hesitate to designate. If you are a tracker series that would like to be highlighted on Race Pro Weekly, email us at show@raceproweekly.com. At At the Lebanon Valley Speedway, Kyle Sheldon is having a year he won't soon forget with multiple top fives and a feature event victory on the season. Fast Eddie caught up with Kyle in the pits.
How difficult is it racing here on a weekly basis in a modified?
Well, looking at our competition, you got Hearn, Bacchetti, Tremont, Marshall, Hefner. All these guys are top guys in what we do, and it's extremely hard. Years and years and years have gone by where you get to the track and you think, well, hopefully we can get a good solid top 10, and just to get a top 10 with these guys is just incredible.
What's it mean when you do get a win here?
It means the world. All the money, the effort, the time that we do to build all of this, and it finally comes together and we do it right. It's just, there's no other feeling in the world, that's for sure.
Your dad's been around this sport a long time. How big of a help and influence has he been on your career?
He's everything. He started racing in '84 and only retired just 2 seasons ago. So, he's there when I get in the car, he's there when I get out. He talks to me, tells me when I'm doing good, when I'm being an idiot, or what the case may be. It's just, if I didn't have him here, I definitely wouldn't be able to do it, that's for sure.
You ever take a look around and think about any other place you'd like to go race?
Well, you always want to travel, but as far as Saturday night goes, this is home. This is where I grew up. At 3 years old, I was playing in the Stones in the grandstands, and it's just home. I can't think of anywhere else to race.
For the folks who don't know, tell people what you do for a living outside of racing this car.
My family, we own Sheldon Oil Services. We pick up used oil from, car dealerships to quick changes to your small mom and pop shops. We take the oil, we recycle it, and we sell it as another usable product. So, we try and recycle everything that we do in our time away from the track. And, the best part is we can take what we do at home and we can bring it here to the Speedway, and we can encourage everyone to help and recycle because everyone's going green. So, we do our best to, really make a difference in the world.
Do you run into a lot of race fans out doing the family business?
Absolutely. I could go to Albany and I could go to 10 stops, and almost every one of those stops they say, hey, great, you had a great run Saturday, or, what the heck happened? You had a bad wreck, or everybody knows about it, and it's amazing. It's amazing the people that are that you see out on the road that know who we are and what we do, and they root for us, and it's great. It's just great.
Who do you have to thank for getting you here on a weekly basis?
Well, I got to thank family, my mom and dad, my grandfather for owning cars in the 60s, because without him, he's the one that started this. Sheldon Oil, my car owner, Alex Thompson, who took over for an absolute legend, Bob Devine. He took over for him about 8-10 years ago, and if it weren't for Alex, he gets this car ready, builds the engines, builds the car, he does everything. So I just got the best people behind me, that's for sure.
That's all for this week's show. For the latest news, results, and photos, check out Race Pro Weekly online, www.raceproweekly.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. So for myself, Matt Knowles, Fast Eddie, Scott Morlock, Dave Whitney, Dave Del Sandro, and everyone that helps put Race Pro Weekly together, thank you for watching this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.